This is an introduction to the set dressing for the rock. So if you've got your scene already open with the rock in it, you want to go to over to set dressing model, and then you're going to actually import into Maya 2017 like that. It's loading right now, and what you'll see is that when you bring in the import, it's also going to bring in some references. So it's nice and clean. You just got one layer of references, the rock and all of these other objects. Now right now it's just placed them in exactly the same spot as the rock, but the trouble is this rock is animatable. So in order to connect this rock, let me just show you what I mean by that. Put in 10 degrees. The set dressing is not going to follow. So what you want to do is actually constrain the set dressing to the rig that's in the rock. I've actually written a script to do this quickly for you. So if you go to this folder here, scripts, mel, I've actually put this script up on my shelf already and just run this. Assuming that your rock has exactly the same namespace, i.e. just rock, it should work straight away. And what you will find is that now, when I tap in a value, the set dressing follows it. And the same is going to apply for it scaling up and down as well. So just in case you ever have to do this manually, essentially what's happening here is there is a joint inside of the rig. Let's just turn all of this off, go to joints. This joint right here and this one right here, and basically it's constraining to this little locator here called set dressing driven right and driven left, and essentially it's doing a parent constraint and a scales constraint to those. So that should make the set dressing follow everything perfectly. Now if you need to animate or custom position some of the set dressing, let's just go in and turn on, so you want to turn on particle instances in order to see all the set dressing, because these are now instanced pieces of geometry. And let me just improve this glitchiness here. There we go. This should make things run nice and fast. Actually, this will render this whole thing in about 7 seconds on my machine right now, which is pretty fast. In fact, I would say the only thing that's slowing it down right now is this proxy MOS. We're planning to replace the MOS, so that'll get better and faster soon as well. But one of the things I wanted to show you was that essentially all of these instances are sitting on locators. So if I switch over to wireframe and then open up here, you'll see all these locators. Let's show locators. Here we go. You can just about see them. And if you want to move something, you can grab one of these locators and reposition it. It will follow the orientation and the scale perfectly, I believe. If you want more set dressing, if you have a shot, like I know there's some later shots where we've got some set dressing out here, out in the wild as well, what you can actually do is just create more of these locators, place them where you want them, and then what's running this is mesh. So go to mesh, bring up this controller. This is a quick way for me to show you how to turn on and off the different types of set dressing you've got here. So the main reads over on the left, that's this one here. Then we've got the grass, which is on both sides, and then you've got the dried up reads, which is on the right. But let's say that we wanted to have more of these. Basically what I could do would be to say, let's just, for argument's sake, I'm going to duplicate these locators and I'm going to move them all the way over here. So I've got a bunch of locators just thrown into space. Okay, so from 60 onwards over. Okay, and I'm going to say that I want to have reads on all of those. I'm going to basically click on the reads distribute node, go over to initial state where you see this dropping area, and just drag those new locators over to here. Now you'll notice that nothing happened. What you need to do is just slide the number of locators up, and all of a sudden you're duplicating. Obviously it gets a bit excessive, but basically, really, I mean, for this kind of thing, you really just want one per locator. So if you count your locators, you can choose how many of those you want, and that will render really quickly and be quite efficient. If you need to reposition those objects, you can just place them like this. The same applies for all these other objects here too. So you've got, if you want more grass, you just drop it into the grass initial state section, and the same for dried reeds over here. And you just slide up the number of instances that you actually want. So that gives you a quick way of doing the set dressing. Hopefully that helps.